just kind of a short video today. It's been 6 weeks since I started this tea wine, and I'll put a link to that episode down in the description. As you can see, it's very clear. Okay, the yeast has settled to the bottom, and so it's looking like it's coming along really nicely. It is still bubbling very slowly, so I'm not sure at this point whether it's still fermenting. I kind of doubt it, but it could be, or whether it's just outgassing the CO2 that the yeast made, and they're not working anymore. Okay. If you look really closely, you can also see why we use an airlock. A fruit fly got in there, but couldn't get into our brew. So all I'm going to do today is rack this off of the lees at the bottom and take a reading of its specific gravity. Now, if you watch the first episode, you can see that I kind of messed up doing this, so I don't know the exact starting specific gravity. But if it went all the way dry, if it's down about 0, okay, then we know that the fermentation is done, okay, and if it's not, then we'll let it go a little further. And either way, I'm going to put it in another conditioning vessel and just let it sit, because we know that tea wine, or at least I've been led to believe that tea wine takes quite a while to mature and taste its best. So we're in no hurry on this one. Okay, so I'm going to get started here. I got my auto siphon, and I'm missing my little cap, which I'm going to want because of the lees. So let me head back into my fermentation room here. Okay, so this little cap just helps guard against the sediment at the bottom going up into the siphon and down into here, which would defeat the whole purpose of doing the racking. I've got a tube. Okay, I'm using a shorter one this time, so hopefully there will be no spillage. And so I'm going to take off that. It smells nice. Okay, smells nice. So that's always a good sign. So I'm going to get that in there, and that in there. It really does help to have 3 hands when you're doing this. Okay, so we got the siphon going. It has a surprisingly fruity aroma. Now there is a tiny bit of fruit in the form of cardamom in the Earl Grey tea, but not really enough to well, I don't know. It smells very nice. So I'm going to stir this. See if I can't encourage any more of the CO2 to come out. I don't want to introduce oxygen, although it's probably not too much of a problem because the alcohol should be above 10%, but just the same. And we'll take a reading and see if we can guess how far along this is. Still not floating. Okay. It's about 1.023. 1.023. Let me write that down. Okay. So there's still a fair bit of sugar in there, so it is still fermenting, albeit slowly. Okay, so it's now time to put this into another vessel. I'm going to take a little bit off to have a taste. Okay, and I've got less than a gallon now because we left a little bit behind. So I'm going to use a slightly smaller bottle. This is a 4-liter bottle, so a gallon is up to about here, which gives us good headroom when we're in the early stages of fermenting. But we're not going to see a whole lot of action at this point, so we're just going to give it more time. Just siphon this in. Okay, I don't need the little cap anymore. Okay, so put the airlock back on, and that goes back in my fermentation room, and we'll just wait. Meantime, let's give this a little taste. It is sweet and also a little sour, it's very young. So yes, it obviously has a way to go, but it's not unpleasant. Okay, it's just not something you would, immediately sit down and want to drink. But certainly nothing untoward, no off tastes. So it's looking good for the tea wine.